Everyone. Welcome to Rewire and Restore. I am truly honored to have you here today. My name is Sonia Edward with Heritage Wellness, psychiatric mental health clinic for sure in Florida. So this is an opportunity designed to help you reconnect with yourself and unlock the incredible power your brain and body have to heal from trauma. When we talk about rewiring the brain, we're talking about more than science. We're talking about reclaiming your life, reshaping how you think, feel, and how you relate to or move through the world. Many of us have been told that trauma is just something we simply get over and move past. But I want to challenge that idea today. Trauma isn't something that just stays in the past, it lives with us. It lives in our minds, our bodies, and in our daily experiences. The powerful part is that just as trauma rewires our brain in ways that keep us feeling stuck, we have the ability, yes, we do. We have the ability to actively rewire our brains towards peace, safety, love, and joy. It's not only possible, it's within your reach. So let's dive right into it. And here's just some information about me. Once again, my name is Sonia Edward, board certified psychiatric provider here at Heritage Wellness. I am currently integrating mind and body. So I have a holistic approach. I'm actually currently a doctoral student, clinical preceptor to FIU, Walden University, and Chamberlain University students. I am simply someone who is passionate about mental health. I'm an educator and advocate, and I'm glad to be with you guys today. I'm glad that you're open to alternatives and holistic approaches to trauma, at least. So, did you know 21% of adults have experienced a mental health concern in the last year? That's 50 to 60 million people. 70% of adults will experience at least one traumatic event in their lifetime. And according to research, 3.6 of the US adults experience PTSD annually. This equals to over 90 million people? Sorry, 9 million people. With women encompassing 5.2%, experiencing more than men for sure. That is 1.8%. And 11 to 30% of veterans face PTSD, depending on their specific service and experiences. First responders also see high rates of trauma-related conditions, with about 30% experiencing mental health concerns such as PTSD. Trauma is a leading cause of life years lost for individuals ages 1 to 46. Makes you think, right? Highlighting its significant public health impact. We can't ignore this. As healthcare providers, everything we do, though, is grounded in research and evidence. So this is important to know. Alrighty, let's move right along here. So what is trauma? Let's dive right into it. So we gotta start with understanding trauma, right? As a psychiatric provider, I often see trauma being assessed through quick surface level questions, focusing only on basic details of an individual's experiences. And I'll be honest, sometimes we focus, more on, the symptoms, current symptoms versus looking at the full picture. So this type of approach can miss the full picture for sure, and can cause us to at times just throw a band-aid on a wound when we're not really getting to the root cause, like seriously. But it's so important that as clinicians, professionals, and people really, we understand that trauma isn't just a difficult experience or complex we won't want to talk about. It's something that leaves an impact on our entire system. That is our mind, body, and yes, spirit. Is often thought of as a result of a major life event like abuse, accidents, or loss. But trauma can also come from, those subtle situations, like being dismissed or overlooked, feeling left alone or unsupported. Those may be small, but seriously, they can have a big impact. Trauma is more than the event itself, though. It's about how our bodies and minds respond to that experience, holding on to it even when the moment has passed. Now, statistics show that 70% of adults experience some form of traumatic event in their lifetime. That's pretty high if you ask me. And for many, emotional trauma keeps the nervous system in a state of heightened alert or emotional numbness. So we got to think about it. What is emotional trauma? Well, emotional trauma can arise from any experience where you feel unsafe, threatened, or deeply hurt. But unlike physical wounds, emotional trauma doesn't heal in a straight line. It's stored in our bodies, nervous system, and even our cells. You may notice feeling anxious, withdrawn, or overreacting to daily events. Have y'all? Type it in the chat. This happens because emotional trauma leaves lasting marks, disrupting our sense of safety and changing how we respond to the world. So let's keep moving forward. So, how does trauma get stored in our bodies? I get asked this often. Trauma just doesn't just live in our minds. It embeds itself in our bodies. You might experience muscle tension, chronic aches, or digestive problems. You know, that mind-gut connection. This happens because trauma overwhelms the nervous system, trapping the energy of the traumatic event within us. You know, have any of y'all heard of that book, The Body Keeps the Score? An amazing book. Even when the danger has passed, your brain sends signals to keep your body in survival mode, making you feel stuck, constantly on edge, and even anxious. So let's explore how the brain and trauma impacts it for sure. So the prefrontal cortex, this is your thinking brain, the part that helps with rational thought and decision making. Trauma actually clouds this area, making it difficult to focus, plan, or even handle even small, simple tasks. The amygdala is the part of your brain where it's the fear center, constantly scanning for threats. Trauma sends the amygdala into overdrive, keeping you on high alert even when you are actually safe. Can't forget about the hippocampus. This is the memory center, responsible for distinguishing past and present. Trauma shrinks actually the hippocampus, making it difficult for your brain to recognize that past trauma isn't happening right now, leading you to, relive experiences in real time. To simplify it all, the prefrontal cortex is the front door, and trauma slams it shut, leaving you locked out. The amygdala is like your home's ADT system. How many of y'all got an ADT system at home or a security alert? Y'all know I'm talking about home's alarm system, constantly going off even when there's no danger in the hippocampus. Think of it as your family calendar. And trauma drumbles is so badly that you can't tell whether something happened last week or years ago. Now let's talk about brain rewiring, the GPS of healing, if you ask me. So this is the hopeful part. Your brain is not set in stone. Remember that. There's this wonderful word called neuroplasticity, meaning it can reroute itself. Think of your brain like a GPS that can find a new route after a wrong turn. Oops, yep. Our thoughts and emotions can physically reshape our brain. Imagine driving the same rough road filled with bumps for years. Brain rewiring allows you to find a smoother path. Yes, it takes time, y'all, but it's possible to recreate healthier ways of thinking, feeling, and reacting. I'm big on brain rewiring because I love this quote by the father of psychology. He says, Unexpressed emotions never die. They are buried alive and they come forth in uglier ways. I say all that to say our mind really does affect our mood and our behavior, and our behavior affects our entire life. All right, y'all have some time for a story time. Let me tell you a story. So there was a patient of mine who came to me after years of traditional mental health like care, therapy, you name it. She tried it all, medication, but she still was feeling stuck. She literally told me, I've tried everything and nothing works. My anxiety is eating me alive. And I'll be honest, it's important to integrate mind and body approaches and help see the help people see the full picture. Seriously, the traditional mental health model has been focusing mainly on managing symptoms, but at times I honestly believe that we're not fully addressing the deeper issue like trauma. um some people don't need more pills. People need, help with to understand that, their body and brain are still in a survival mode, reacting to a traumatic event long after like the event has passed. Like, her anxiety wasn't just a disorder. It was her body screaming, I'm still in danger. So once we address the trauma itself, everything else changed. So I'm big on brain rewiring techniques, mind and body techniques to help people understand how trauma can be stored in their body. And finally, take that control back. So I'm big on trauma isn't just something you have to live with. Science shows us, neuroplasticity shows us that we can retrain and rewire our brains and move from surviving to thriving. For sure. And this isn't, to say that, medication isn't necessary. Rather, we need to take a holistic approach, considering the full picture, just mind, body, and spirit and life experiences. That's all I'm saying. And success starts in one place, your mind. So that's why I'm big on rewiring. I'm just saying. So let's talk about how trauma triggers pretty much affect us. And of course, I'm big on practical tools. So I'll be providing you guys with that soon. So let's talk about triggers. When something reminds you of your trauma or traumatic experience, your brain reacts before you realize it. It's a neural response, not just an emotional one. Like, think back to the last time you were stressed. Did your body tense up? Did your heart rate increase? That's because your body remembers trauma even when your mind might want to forget. And an example for sure is I often have clients of mine deeply anxious wherever they hear loud sounds, a trigger linked to a childhood trauma. Over time, we can learn to recognize and rewire our response to our triggers and regain control for sure. So let's pause real quick, take a moment and take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you're comfortable and notice how your body feels. Are your shoulders tense? Is your breath shallow? This is the first step in understanding how your body speaks to you. So let's talk about some practical tools for brain rewiring. Rewiring your brain now is all about repetition, awareness, and engagement. I always say consistency is key. So some tools that'll help with the brain rewiring process includes humming. I love humming. Mm. I love humming for sure. Now, another would be controlled exposure. Think of this as similar to a workout. Just as you wouldn't lift 100 pounds on your first day at the gym, y'all, you shouldn't tackle your deepest trauma all at once now. Instead, you gradually expose yourself to triggers in a safe and mindful way. Your brain needs time to relearn that you are safe. And this gradual exposure is key to rewiring those pathways. I also love journaling. Now, This practice can take many forms, like such as gratitude journaling, where you list the things you're thankful for each day, or reflective journaling. I'm big on mindful journaling, which allows you to take a deep dive into your thoughts and feelings. Reflecting on your limiting beliefs through journaling can open the door to understanding and even transformation. I also love mindfulness meditation, y'all. So these tools create new thought patterns and help you break free from that automatic responses, to trauma. So mindfulness, I encourage you to engage in daily mindfulness practices where you find and you can focus on the present moment. This means observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, though. It's okay, it's just a thought, remember? By doing this, you can significantly reduce stress and enhance your emotional regulation. Now there are many apps that you can also look into, download on your phone. Those are some great, excellent resources for sure to help you get started if you already have one of those apps. Now I'm big on visualization. And these tools can be powerful tools for brain rewiring, and I encourage you to take time to visualize your desired outcomes or the person you want to become. Like this practice not only reinforces positive beliefs, but also motivates you to take actionable steps towards your goals. For sure. So to enhance this practice, consider creating a vision board or using guided visualization exercises to help you stay focused on your aspirations. I love sticky notes. I love vision boards. I love them all because they all help for sure. And so those are some practical tools for brain rewiring. And we've been told that tools like affirmations are just, or meditation are just self-help fluff or old fad. But that's not true. These practices are backed by science and research and have a profound effect on your brain's ability to rewire itself. The way we speak to ourselves, the way we visualize our future, and how we anchor ourselves in the moment of stress, these are building blocks for real, lasting change, y'all. So when someone tells you that trauma is just something you have to live with, or that you can't change how you feel, remember this. It's not true. Your brain is capable of incredible transformation. It's not about moving past your trauma. It's about moving forward with it, reshaping how it affects you, and reclaiming your life back. Alrighty, we're moving forward to restoration. Now, restoration work involves not just healing wounds, but actively creating an environment where resilience can flourish. So let's talk about the nervous system. Yes, which is like the control system, center really of our entire body. It's in charge of how we react to everything, especially stress and trauma, y'all. Think of it as the captain of your ship. Yes, it steers you towards either calmer waters or stormy seas, depending on, of course, what's going on around you. When we experience trauma, our nervous system can get stuck in a state of high alert, constantly scanning for danger, even when we're actually safe. This is where the vagus nerve, though, comes into play. Now, the vagus nerve might sound like a small thing, but it's a game changer when it comes to regulating how we feel. So, the vagus nerve runs from the brain all the way down to our gut, and it's responsible for controlling whether you feel calm or stressed. It's part of your parasympathetic nervous system. Yes, which is what helps your body relax after a stressful or traumatic event. When you activate your vagus nerve, you're sending a message to your brain that says, hey, it's okay. You are safe now. A lot of people don't realize they can control their stress responses by intentionally activating this nerve. You don't need to wait for your nervous system to calm down on its own. You have the power to tell your body it's time to relax. So some techniques now, these are my top three actually. I love light movement, gentle movements like stretching or swaying. I'm doing it now. Also help to calm the body. A simple practice is just standing and literally swaying side to side for a minute or a couple of minutes, focusing on the sensation of your feet grounding you. This can help regulate your nervous system in the moment. Deep breathing, absolutely love deep breathing. You've probably heard about deep breathing before, but here's why it's so effective. Slow, controlled breathing tells your body you're safe. When you're anxious or triggered, our breathing tends to become shallow and rapid, right? By intentionally slowing it down, you're calming your nervous system. Try inhaling right now for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Holding it for 4, 2, 3, and exhaling for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Doesn't that feel good? Yes. And humming. I love humming. Literally awesome. I love humming. Sounds basic, right? But humming actually stimulates the vagus nerve. The vibration from humming can help shift you from stress states to a more relaxed one. Try humming your favorite tune or just holding a simple note. It works, like for real. I promise. One thing I want you though to I want you to remember and I want to emphasize is that you don't need to like bombard your life overnight to see change, you know? I always say slow progress is still progress. A lot of people think like they need to meditate for an hour or two or do intense breath work sessions to get results. That's not true. The key is small, consistent actions. Neuroscience shows us that even just 2 minutes a day of these practices can start to rewire your brain and the body's response to stress. Think about it like planting a seed. If you water it a little bit each day, it will grow into something big and beautiful. But if you try to drown it all at once, it won't thrive. So here's the takeaway. Start small. The real power is in consistency, not the intensity. Little by little, yes, one step at a time. You're telling your brain and body, I'm safe now. And that's how the rewiring process begins. All right. So let's recap so far what we've learned. Now, trauma affects not just your thoughts, but your body. And it creates automatic responses in your brain that can feel hard to control if we're honest. But you're not powerless here. You have the tools, practical, brain and body tools to start rewiring your brain, your body, and reclaiming your life from trauma. The old way of thinking told us that once trauma happens, you're stuck with it forever, and that's not true. There is hope, y'all. You can rewire your brain and body. You can release stored trauma. But that's seriously the truth. Science shows us that with intentional work, we can retrain our brains to not just heal, but to thrive. Now let's say it out loud together. I am in control of my healing. I can rewire my brain, and my body can restore itself. And I love affirmations like, I am in control of my healing. Yes. My body can restore. Yes. This isn't just something that's out of your control. Remember, you have the ability to reshape your brain and your future. And today we're talking about breaking free from the myth that trauma defines us. No, it does not. It doesn't have to. You have the power. And oh, by the way, if you'd like to find out more about trauma or how to heal from trauma, recover from trauma, or rewire your brain and body, please, we'd love to connect with you guys. I will have the information here. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here today, for showing up for yourself. Yes, that's right. That ain't selfish. You got to show up for yourself. That's right. And prioritize yourself. I know that's right. And for beginning this journey, I'm so proud of you guys. And thank you for being here. I look forward to walking this path of transformation with you as we learn, grow, and heal together. Take care, everyone.